Hello everyone and welcome to the guide on Ekko, the boy who shattered time. Ekko has been getting a lot better in meta since the assassin changes, which gave him better AP scaling and made him a lot stronger overall. He has a lot of burst damage, huge CC ability which can change the course of teamfights if used correctly, and he is a very good roamer. His crowd control and gap closer abilities make him able to get a lot of surprise ganks on other lanes and pick up easy kills for him and his team. Let's start off with his abilities. His passive is Z-Drive Resonance. Ekko's basic attacks and damaging abilities apply Z-Drive Resonance to affected enemies for 4 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. At 3 stacks, Z-Drive Resonance is consumed to deal 30 to 140 magic damage to the target against enemy champions. Ekko also gains from 50 to 80% bonus movement speed for 2 to 3 seconds. His passive also cannot affect the same target for more than once every 5 seconds. Next up is his Q, Time Winder. Ekko throws a device in the target direction, dealing magic damage to enemies along its path. At a maximum range or upon hitting an enemy champion, the device slows to a stop and expands, creating a field that slows nearby enemies. After a short delay, the device contracts and returns to Ekko, dealing magic damage to enemies along its path. His W, Parallel Convergence. This ability has a passive and an active effect. Passive, Ekko's basic attacks deal 3% plus 1% per 33 ability power of the target's missing HP. Bonus magic damage to targets below 30% of their maximum health. The damage has a minimum threshold of 15 and is capped at 150 against minions and monsters. Basically, if someone is under 30% HP, your auto attacks will deal more damage. Active, Ekko calls upon an alternate version of himself that bats a device to the target location. After a total delay of 3 seconds, the device expands into a broad sphere that slows enemies by 40%, only revealing itself to enemies in the last 0.5 seconds. If Ekko enters the sphere and detonates, shielding him for 2 seconds and stunning all enemies inside for 1.75 seconds. Ekko can detonate the sphere while untargetable. His E, Phase Drive. Ekko dashes towards the target location. His next basic attack gains range, deals bonus magic damage, applies on-hit and spell effects in the process, and causes Ekko to blink to his target. And finally, his R, Chrono Break. Passive, while Chrono Break is not on cooldown, Ekko is followed by a time-delayed hologram of himself that tracks where he was 4 seconds ago. Active, after a short delay, Ekko blinks to his hologram's location, becoming briefly untargetable, then dealing magic damage to surrounding enemies on arrival and healing himself. Also, a cool tip about his ult: if you go through your W with your ult, it will trigger its shield and stun. Now let's go into his runes, Masteries, and Summoner spells. For his runes, you want to take Marks of Magic Penetration, Glyphs of Magic Resist, Seals of Armor, and Quintessences of Ability Power. You can also switch them up a bit. People have been having a bit more success with HP per level yellows and 3 scaling AP and 6 scaling cooldown reduction glyphs, but you can try it out and decide for yourself. For your Masteries, you want to take 12, 18, 0 with Thunderlords as your keystone. Regarding Summoner spells, you can pretty much take whatever you need, but most common ones to take are Flash, and then you can choose between Ignite and Teleport, although I do recommend Teleport since you already have enough damage for Ignite, but make sure to try them both out and see for yourself. Going into the build, in your early laning phase, you want to start off with Corrupting Potion or a refillable potion and Dark Seal, and then get Corrupting Potion on your second back. You can also do the same with Dark Seal if you decide to start with a Corrupting Potion. Now for first item, you want to get Hextech Proto Belt as soon as possible, since it synergizes pretty well with your kit and gives you very nice stats, and its active can give you a lot more burst damage, even more mobility, and it's just a very well run item for your kit. For your second item, you want to go Sorcerer's Shoes followed by Lich Bane, which is incredibly powerful on Ekko, especially when combined with his E ability. Then you want to go Zona, and then just build whatever you need. You can either go for more damage, which in most cases you want to do, so go something like Void Staff or Rabadons, but if you're super fed and really far ahead of the enemy team, you can go for some kind of defensive item like GA to just ensure your lead. And that is it for the basic stuff for Ekko. Now let's go into the laning phase. So you want to start off with your Q followed by your E, then W. Then max out Q first, then E, then W, and of course your ult whenever you can. In lane you probably won't have a very good time until you get some levels under your belt and a few items. In lane you just want to wave clear with your Q, and you don't have to get CS if you will take unnecessary damage for it. Just wave clear with your Q and stay safe. After a few levels, if you're stronger than your enemy laner, you can go in for a kill, and that can be done if he overextends. You can step into the fog of war and throw out your W where he is, and he won't see your W because if you cast it in fog of war, he won't be able to see the animation of it until you get into his field of vision, which you can use to your advantage by jumping onto him right when your W lands on him, which lets you get a lot of burst damage onto him without him being able to do anything. You can also use this to set up ganks for a jungler. If you're not doing that well, you just want to look for roams and help out your team. Of course, if you're stronger than your enemy laner, of course you also want to roam, but there's no need to force kills in your lanes or go for risky plays if you don't have to. Now Ekko is pretty much an early to mid game beast. He can do pretty well in late game, but he's the best until 35 minutes because you can take down towers quickly, set up engages, and just go through the enemy team to get objectives and expand your lead to win the game. So what you want to do is just try to get kills all over the map and just kill everyone and get you and your team as far ahead as you can. And this is also not that difficult considering your ult, because when you gank or go for certain plays, you can fairly overcommit, which a lot of champions can't or is too risky for them to do so. And that is because of your ult. We can just get you back to where you started and just walk away if the play doesn't work. And if you get fed and just start picking people off all over the map, you'll probably end the game before 30 minutes. But if it does get to the late game, and you start grouping and fighting as 5v5, you just want to try to get a nice W on the enemy team and just jump on the most important carry champion in their team, and then you can just ult away, or you can try walking where the enemy team might walk, and you can try getting a nice ultimate on the enemy team, which if you land on a lot of people can one-shot them maybe because of how much damage it will do in the late game. Now for some tips and tricks. You can use your E to cancel the animation of your W, which can be done by casting your W while your E is being cast. It can be used to make someone not notice your W in the heat of the battle, or just to get your W down a bit faster. If there's a few people chasing you and you feel like you can engage on them, or if your team is about to come to you, you can throw your W behind you where they will walk while chasing you, and when your ult clone walks over the W, just ult and damage them all with your ult and stun them with your W. This is a bit difficult to do, but after you play a bit of games on Ekko, you'll probably get the hang of it. You can also, if you have TP and you teleport to a lane to get a kill, or help your team get a kill, if you do it really quickly, you can press ult to come back to your lane, which is a big time saver. And that pretty much wraps up the guide on Ekko. Hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to leave suggestions for what champions I could do a guide on next. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to comment and subscribe. But thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace.